Hey guys, Dov here with another battle for Total War Warhammer 2, and y'all asked for a Luminarch replay, so here we are to oblige. We're up against Hadriz. This is actually from Turin's King of the Hill yesterday, or a couple days ago, probably from when you're seeing this. We've gone with a full-on fire build here, so we've got the Huntsman General with the Hail of Fire. This is going to give this great cannon fire damage. Likewise, the Warrior Priest also has a Banner of Eternal Flame. He's going to give this great cannon fire damage. Obviously, we've got a Bright Wizard there, plus the Templehof Luminarch for some nets. And, yeah, that single target damage. Got 3 Pistoliers. Going to be doing some skirmishing immediately with some Skeleton Horsemen Archers. Just basic State Troop Infantry, as you would expect, with some Empire Knights in the back. We've got some Nekar Horsemen, and my primary target in range here is going to be the Ushabti for the cannons, and I mean, even any units that aren't necessarily weak to fire, as long as I'm just throwing fireballs as often as I can, getting that passive fire bonus, especially from the Banner of Eternal Flame, will be quite strong here. So there's 3 Ushabti, yeah, the aforementioned Skeleton Horsemen Archers. We've got some stuff in the woods here, big stompy monsters, a Necrosphinx and Cetra. Yeah, he's on his kitty. Got some Nekar Horsemen as well there, so you can see I'm just, again, shooting whatever targets are in range. I have the targeting turned on so you guys can see exactly where I'm shooting here. The Nekar Horsemen getting absolutely lit up here. Just focus firing on them, doing some skirmishing. Basically, whatever comes into range here, whatever comes into visibility, I want to try and take out. Hadriz is doing exactly what he should, which is kind of come up and around the hill here, using that for cover, using this very dense forest for cover. He can kind of maneuver his troops up and around here and not take nearly as much damage from the Luminarch and the cannons, but, I mean, I can still shoot at whatever targets present themselves, certainly. So, again, that can be like these Skeleton Horsemen Archers here, or the Nekara Horsemen. And of course, again, throwing fireballs as often as I can, just at whatever targets, again, present themselves. Fireballs, relatively cheap, can proc a lot of Kindle Flame. And since the infantry here for the Tomb King's a little bit exposed without any heavy support, we're just going to rush straight in with the Empire Knights for a frontal charge here, right on these Skelly Bros. So, unfortunately, they're not spearmen. They don't really have any kind of bracing. We're going to take that hammering charge straight to the face. You can see some Ushabti kind of break up this charge a little bit. But still, those guys have been lit up by cannons. They're down quite a few models there. Meanwhile, over in on the far side, we've got some troops emerging from the woods. We're going to collapse with all the Empire Knights and just continue to kind of break up this advance here so that my infantry will fight a little better there. Just do some initial shock damage. We're going to keep these Nekar Horsemen screened out with the swarm of Pistoliers. Not the best engagement for Pistoliers, but just through numbers we should do okay there. And then here comes kind of the main thing, right? So we're going to throw a fireball, and then the Luminarch will bust up a shot. And I really want to point something out here, just very briefly. This is actually a bit of a bug, what happens right now. And you guys will see why once the Luminarch shot actually connects on the Necrosphinx there. You see how it did way too much damage? Yeah, so basically, I didn't quite catch it there, but you can see it did like 4,000-ish damage, which is a bit more than it should. I mean, it should be doing, even with Kindle Flame, about maximum like 1,800 damage or so. So yeah, unfortunately, it seems like it may be double hit there. It can happen occasionally with artillery if it hits a model that's moving directly towards it. It can sometimes impact the model multiple times, but we're going to net finish off that Necrosphinx. Cetra comes back to knock around Gaston, but, you know, he'll be alright. He's a relatively tanky foot character, just kind of get tossed around. Meanwhile, the Warrior Priest comes over here to break up the Nekar Horsemen. We're going to pull the Pistoliers back and use some Holy Soul Fire there to finish them off. Incantation of Desiccation on the Pistoliers to take down their combat stats. But, yeah, the Pistoliers can kind of just kite around and provide some fire support from Cetra. The Hail of Fire from Gaston is off cooldown relatively soon, so I'm going to use that on the Pistoliers and on this cannon here. Meanwhile, the Empire Knights just still running around. They've taken some damage from the Ushabti, but Fireball comes in for another Kindle Flame, and we're going to get that Hail of Fire as soon as we can. But in the front line, I'm also throwing down Burning Heads, just because, again, I want to keep that Kindle Flame up as much as possible while that Hail of Fire is active. So there goes the Burning Head. You can see the Hail of Fire here on those Pistoliers. Going to put a pretty significant damage boost. Not to mention we've got the cannon that just got shut down there by those Ushabti. But yeah, The Pistoliers literally providing fire support here. And the Luminarch charging up a shot. Connects right on Cetra on top of the Howdah there. And does, in fact, hit him. Doesn't quite double hit him, thankfully, but he takes a ton of damage there. Ushabti's going to try and pin in the Luminarch, but just barely misplaced. It is going to catch a lot of these State Troops and Empire Knights, though. And Cetra getting some really good attacks on this Luminarch here, so it's got to get that away. We do have some cannon crews coming back, though. Going to try and get them back online, get these Empire Knights up to secure. Hadris makes a great play here, trying to take out my Bright Wizard with the Necrotech. Necrotech's pretty good combatant, 45 attack, 360 weapon strength. Can definitely beat down that Bright Wizard pretty efficiently. Still got nets, though. So here comes another net and blast, potentially. You can see the Warrior Priest again helping to secure this back line, buffing up these Spearmen with shields. He's going to be helping to soul fire those skeletons as well, but we're really here just for the Luminarch. Another connect right on the Howdah. Is that Luminarch aiming for the head, like Cetra's head? I mean, I like that's got to be a very tricky headshot, but oh man, wow, yeah. Anyway, summoned Ushabti here, just getting tied up by Spearmen, but the Luminarch, definitely in trouble. Warrior Priest, though, just has done such a great job at defending the backline, even on foot here with just like 1 unit of spears, 2 units of spears. He can help defend these cannons. I mean, granted, the cannon crews haven't really been defended, to be honest, but this cannon's been able to get back online here. You can see them lined up for some shots. Getting some shots on Cetra there. And, yeah, he's just going to continue to chase the Luminarch, which is probably a good idea. Cetra throws Cursed Blades there just to give himself a little bit of extra healing and weapon damage. The Pistoliers, though, can be used to screen out Cetra and just try and keep the Templehof Luminarch alive. I'm probably going to win. I mean, the balance power is pretty heavily in my favor at this point. Just a matter of, you know, keeping that Templehof Luminarch alive so that doesn't start to tilt back too far. Yeah, Ushabti then come take out the second cannon here, but we're going to throw a fireball, etc., just to keep him, you know, keep up the DPS, keep up the pressure. It makes solid contact there. He's down to 800 hit points. So, Gaston, meanwhile, having to fight some Ushabti in melee. Because of their low leadership and relatively low defense, he actually can do some damage here. See the Warrior Priest and the State Troop Spearmen, the few that remain here, victorious, despite the fact this cannon's crew is long gone. Handful of knights riding off in the distance. Man, this game just looks so good. Luminarch's going to line up a shot and try and blast this poor Necrotech here. Again, just barely clips like his little Thracian cone here, which, by the way, very, very cool. And he somehow survives that absolute headshot. Cetra goes down to crumbling. And Gaston takes a dive here, but he's fine. He's totally fine. And with the friendly fires, maybe. It kind of looked like he friendly fired the Warrior Priest there, but yeah, he's not going to take that double team, especially because the Necrotechs are weak to fire damage as well. So, well played to Hadris. This was a very fun game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that one. A little bit of a strange bug there with the Templehof Luminarch. I mean, I still feel like I probably had pretty good tools, but I do think it probably double or triple hit on that, which is a little bit sad. It can happen as well, even to like cannon-type artillery. Like if you're ever moving, especially longer unit models, like chariots or monsters that are especially long, it can potentially double hit them. Like Carnosaurs, I think I've seen it happen too. Necrosphinxes, certain types of single-model chariots as well, like nobles occasionally. Yeah. But, I mean, the Kindle Flame definitely helped. I can't say the Kindle Flame didn't help. And I didn't quite showcase it there. I was trying to throw the oil flasks, and I did actually manage to throw 2 of them. Unfortunately, they both missed, I think. So, yeah. Yeah, it was okay. I know some of you guys have been asking about Luminarch games, so there you go. This is a reasonably decent Luminarch build. It does lack terror, so it's not going to be great against factions which are weak to terror. Yeah, and I'm not really sure how you exactly squeeze that in here, besides maybe cutting the 2 cannons, maybe going with Faith Demis or something. I don't know. I have to kind of play around with it and see, but for Hadris build, pretty solid rush build overall. I mean, given the circumstances, one thing specifically about the Necrosphinx, it is quite a bit more expensive, but the Regiment of Renowned Necrosphinx actually has fire resistance. So if we have a look here, the Sphinx of Usek, not a lot of people remember, it's only 25%, but still it's something, and given that fire damage, especially in that specific matchup, is so common, especially like Faith Demis having fire damage, you know, Luminarchs, any kind of fire missile damage, very, very common here, and so having that fire resistance, I think, is pretty much always worth it if you're going to be taking a Necrosphinx against the Empire, which isn't always the best idea, but it definitely can work. But yeah, the fire resistance, definitely, of the Sphinx of Usek, I would say, is worth it here. Yeah, I mean, the magic resistance, you might come up against, like, for example, Knights of the Blazing Sun, that this would be slightly less effective against, but you still do enough damage overall that I think you'll probably one-shot their unit models anyway. Hard to say, but anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that one. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.